Welcome back to Omni Garage. So today we're going to do a after hours wash and talk, and the reason for it being called an after hours wash and talk is the majority of the car cleaning on the channel happens after hours. We both have full-time jobs, so that name definitely makes sense for us to call it that. So
yeah, we're about to ride off a whole Sunday afternoon here as we go through our normal wash process.
So we've got buckets full of different tools and stuff. I've got some HyperWash in here. I've got brake buster, definitely straight up in the foam gun, and here's a little bit of brake buster. But the first step of our wash process is to clean the wheels first, and then we go around and then we clean the paint. So I'm going to give the wheels a bit of a rinse down and then get into cleaning these. There's that noise that everyone loves. Purging noise. She's a great water blaster, this one, eh? We definitely need something decent, but usually the first time I use this, after a while, it takes a wee while for that water to cycle through, and that's why it sounds like it's running out of water, but then it does this beautiful noise. Oh, I love it. That's the rinse done, and in here I've got some straight up brake buster. You can dilute this brake buster if you like, but I find straight up's fine. Just I've got 150 mils in here, and that usually gets around all 4 tyres. So just a quick squirt of this. And this stuff smells so good. That noise is like an iconic sound of Omni Garage, isn't it? So many people have complained on the channel about the purging, the burn.
Yeah, the old Karcher water blaster doesn't do that.
Oh,
I don't think the Krenzler would either.
So in this bucket with the HyperWash, I've got the lamb's wool mitt, and you can sort of get a couple of fingers in there, and this is perfect for getting in and out of these spokes here. The concept of the 4-fingered mitt sounds really strange, but to be honest with you, since I got this, my wheel cleaning process is definitely halved in time. It's so much easier to clean. I really love this.
I think that works quite well though with this type of wheel. I'm not going to count the spokes because I'm notorious at getting that wrong, but I think you don't really have any small areas. There's no spokes coming off the side here that make it real difficult to get your hand in with that. It works pretty well.
Yeah, so you don't really like using
no,
the things in there?
I'd hold it more like this. The one thing I found with this mitt is, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 US dollars. It's not that expensive. I've had mine for well over a year now. After every wash it goes in the washing machine.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Goes in the dryer.
I don't know how you can't do it like that.
Nah, I can't. It's too awkward.
So you put all your microfibre and stuff in the dryer after washing, eh?
Yep. So that would, as soon as I finish the wash, that along with my Incredipad will go in the washing machine on a cold wash, and then in the dryer by themselves. Well, I mean the two would go together, just on a delicate dry. You could put it on the line, but I find that then it can be stored away in the bucket pretty quick.
Well, I don't have a dryer, so I've got to put mine on
the old school way
on the line, and I don't have any problems with it being hung out on the line.
I find what's nice about drying them though is they fluff up really nice. So
yeah.
especially with the microfiber towels, you'll find that if you hang them on the line, they definitely don't end up as fluffy and as soft as they do when they go through the dryer.
Yeah, and we clean them with that micro restore.
Yeah.
And that's really good. I like that stuff.
The one thing I've never washed before though is I've never taken the pad off my Incredibrush.
Oh yeah.
But you having first start.
So this is my first go with the Incredibrush, and that's the flat version. I think I might take that pad off because that just peels off, and then you can wash it. I wonder how well it'll last though.
Yeah, because I find these they take ages to dry. I'll usually kind of hang this on the line like this and let it dry, but it never fully dries. But I also didn't want to deform it too much. I thought, I don't know about the elastic in the dryer.
Yeah.
Though you can get replacement sleeves for about $10, so it's not too bad.
So this is a Raceglaze brush. You can buy them in a 5-pack where you get different sizes, and then you can buy this in the XL version, which is slightly bigger than this one. I find I do have the XL, but I use that for the tyre dressing. I find that this smaller size is just easier to get in the lug nuts, get in the back on here on the caliper, and because you do use the XL, don't you? For
Not
cleaning
anymore. No, I stopped. So I've got a. It's not a Raceglaze because I can't find anyone who will ship to New Zealand these brushes at the moment.
They are hard to find, aren't they?
Yeah. So I've got
definitely in the multi-pack's harder to find. Yeah.
I think I've got a Carpro brush, probably around that same size, and I only use that the Raceglaze XL brush to apply tyre dressing.
Yeah.
It's just dedicated for that.
Dedicated to that.
Yeah. I think
and
the big
that XL is a good size to get pretty much one
on a
swipe
wheel
on
like
there.
this. It's good, but even on SUV tyres, you know, I think using a brush to apply a tyre dressing rather than a applicator pad, it's so much easier. Spray straight into the brush. You don't get it all over the place.
Yeah.
First crack on that, eh?
First crack on this. Well, to be fair with you, the idea of this brush is to clean the barrels of your wheels, but as you can probably see on here, that the barrels of my wheels are dirty because I've never cleaned them before. So if you did have coating on your wheels, like on the white STI, it's got CSL and XO on there. This brush would make cleaning those barrels a lot easier. And I've got this because it's a piece of equipment that I didn't have. But hopefully, when these wheels are coated and the barrels there, it'll make cleaning those so much easier. So yeah, it's good. And you can see that size there fits perfectly in between those spokes on the rim there, and it's getting behind the caliper. So I think this is the perfect size to get in the back there. How do you find your brush?
Yeah, I like it. I think the one mistake that you don't want to make, especially when you've sprayed your wheel, is you don't want to start at the top. Because I find if you start at the top, what happens is the water that you've had in there pretty much washes away all your brake buster.
Yeah, so start at the bottom and then come all the way
start at the bottom,
around.
come around the top. It probably is a bit counterintuitive though, because if you start at the top and work your way down with the dirt's leaving the area, whereas you're cleaning the bottom, then going to the top. Yeah. It's kind of like if you started washing your car from the side skirts and you move your way up. But I find with this, if you don't want all your brake buster washed away and have to respray again, which is a pain, start at the bottom, which is what you've done. They're good brushes though.
And do you find they last quite long? These pretty...
Yeah. I mean, I've had mine for a year, no issues with that pad, but you can buy replacement, so...
Yeah, we've got a couple of replacements when I bought this. So.
The actual brush is quite pricey though.
So for the rubber here, I like to spray straight up brake buster on here. So this is non-diluted. Let it sit for a bit, and then I come across with the TUFFSHINE tyre brush. And if you haven't got one of these things are amazing. They're super cheap and perfect size to get that part of your tyre with the brush. And you'll see that when I start scrubbing this, the tyre's going to turn quite black. It's going to get all the dirt out of there, and that's perfect cleaning to then apply your tyre dressing at the end of the process. So you can see how the white there is starting to turn this sort of browny colour, and that's all the dirt coming out of the tyre.
And that's pretty specific with brake buster, right? I've never had that happen with any other type of wheel cleaner. So there's obviously something in brake buster that works really well on
the rubber, right?
Yeah. Those are filthy, man.
Yeah, the cars haven't been clean for very long.
When are you going to denib these?
I'm not denibbing the tyres.
No, I want to denib them for you.
And then I have an easy detail brush. This thing's also pretty cheap, and that just cleans in the back here. Fender liners around here, in and around the top part of the suspension there, and then come back around. And I understand that when you go for your first drive, these fender liners are going to get dirty pretty much straight away. But
it's all about knowing it's clean though, right?
Yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling as long as you keep on top of it. The job's not too hard, so I'm going to give this a rinse down, and that's pretty much one wheel done. So we were just talking before, we've just rinsed that front wheel there, and I put Meguiars Fast Finish on the car probably 3 or 4 months ago, and in the reviews you guys know that it didn't take very well to the paint, wasn't happy with it, the water behaviour wasn't great, but it's definitely worked really well on the wheels. And
yeah, I'm quite amazed. These wheels, they do feel really slick. Be interesting to know what these felt like compared to the STI wheels before either of us coated anything on them.
If they do have sort of a, I don't know, slick coating on them.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they do, but until we strip it off, we're not going to know the difference, are we? But they, on the rinse of them, you get 50, 60, 70% of the dirt off it.
That pre-rinse, you can just see all the brake dust and all the dirt just coming off straight away. But it'll be interesting to see that when we coat it with CSL and EXO and the big detail series coming up, what it's like, compare it, see what it's like.
Yeah, it didn't take too well to your paint though, did it? Like, it was gone.
Yeah. And did you find, how long have you had that on yours now?
On the wheels?
On the
paint.
car?
It's been maybe 6.5, 7 months.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like, I can dry the whole car just using the Ego blower.
Yeah.
And by the time I get to using a drying aid, the drying aid like a bead maker, it's kind of like, oh, is there any point, because I'm not using it as a drying aid. It's more of spray wax because the car is bone dry with that with the leaf blower.
But it sort of adds that sort of topping layer that that's going to wear off over the week though. So
yeah, it does. I think I do notice a difference in slickness putting Bead Maker on top of
the paint definitely feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Then again, I think that you could get away with not using it. And on a white car as well, I find that it's tough to see the benefit in the gloss that it adds as well.
Yeah.
But I love Bead Maker. It's good.
And do you feel that since you put it on the wheels that it's easy to clean the wheels, or do you think it's sort of worn off slightly on the wheels?
No, my wheels are terrible to clean.
Yeah.
STI 19-inch rims are the worst to clean. But they look amazing. I love the look.
We joke about this a lot. We joke about this a lot. When he got those wheels, I said to him, those wheels are going to be a nightmare to clean.
Yeah, I didn't have an option though, did I? It wasn't, hey Sue, would you like these or these?
And you're like, no, these will be fine, And I know how hard it was to clean these. Those STI wheels have got this, and then they have like this little square here. They're a nightmare. And now you finally realise, actually, yeah, I was right.
It's, I mean, I wash my wheels pretty quickly. Like, I can probably get through them in 30 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But if I want to do a really good job of cleaning those wheels, I'll be an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
And then by the time I drive down the road for 10 minutes, they're going to be dirty again. I mean, that's kind of the whole...
And definitely this wheel setup here with the tools that we have is definitely taken heaps of, a good chunk of time off the cleaning process. Do you reckon this help?
I think if you were prioritising these tools, what would if you could only have, 3 of these tools, what are you having?
3 of these tools?
Yeah, 3 of these wheel tools. So we've got Easy Detail, we've got Raceglaze, we've got the TUFFSHINE Brush, we've got the mitt, and a good guard in there. And we've got the Incredibrush. What are you taking? What's your 3?
I'm taking, this is number 1.
Yep.
This is, you could do most of it with this. This is number 1.
Yep.
Number 2?
This is tough, eh? If this was choose
number 2,
4.
probably that.
Okay, yeah. So you're going those?
That is impressive. And these things are really cheap.
Yep.
So if you're on a bit of a budget, but like we are.
You're $20 in US with that. So then, what's your 3rd tool?
Because that's expensive and that's cheap.
Yeah.
You can pretty much do...
Money aside, what's your 3 tools?
Oh, money aside, this one.
That one?
Yeah. That
so
one.
you're going no...
No, you don't do that because you can use this. And you could use that mitt.
Yeah. I would potentially swap out this for this. I think this is pretty versatile.
See, I would get this brush.
Yeah.
And I would buy that separately to apply the tyre dressing and stuff like that, and then I'd just wash it. So I'd use it to clean my lug nuts, wash it, let it dry, and then apply the dressing. So I'd use that tool.
You'd use
like
that.
a 2-in-1.
2-in-1?
Yeah.
I think if the question was which one to get rid of, I think that one.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
I
don't think you necessarily, but that is quite cheap. It's like $20.
It is. Yeah, $15 for the small one. This is the large. This is $20 US. So nice to have them all.
Yeah. Nice.
But if you're just starting out, I'll go 1.
Yeah. This.
Probably have this up there.
This is
because
fantastic.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
3.
This is fantastic. I'd definitely get one of these.
Right. We'll rinse this wheel off, and then we'll move into the fun bit where we actually get to wash the paint. Cool.
Okay, so for the wash process, we give the car a bit of a rinse down, and that helps to get rid of all the big bits of dirt and all that sort of road grime, and hopefully just pushes a little bit of that stuff off. It's not going to get rid of it, but gets rid of a decent chunk of it. And then we've got a couple of buckets. We've got one bucket that's got HyperWash in it, which is our wash bucket, and then we have another bucket that's just got water in it as a rinse bucket. Both buckets have grit guards, or they actually have the Meguiars equivalent of a grit guard on the bottom of there. Foam cannon. I've got 150 mils of HyperWash with 850 of water, and then in here we've got the Incredipad XL in here. And we're just going to go around, wash the car, try and do it top down. Makes sense because you wash at the top, all the stuff drips all the way down, and then you're not basically picking stuff up from the bottom and then taking to the top. So we'll prime the car down and then come back and we'll have a little chat. Solid, you forgot to turn it on.
How's that line doing?
This is where we need one of those wheel guard things so the hose isn't getting wrapped up around the wheel. I haven't got any because no one's given me any suggestions about what I need, so. Because the old Purginator's got the real short, basically hose cable thing, we've got to go around the other side to get to the back. Sheesh, man. Sheesh, we need some decent gear, eh? Right, that about do us, and then I just dump the rest of this into our wash bucket.
Wash pad along?
Oh, nice. Yours looking really old.
Is it?
How long have you had yours for?
A year.
Sort of faded a little bit.
Nah,
is that a year?
Not a year. No, I got that in
Still decent quality. A year's worth of washing is still
January?
like that. Yeah.
January. Yeah, and I wash that after each wash.
They're good quality, eh?
I do have two. I rotate them in.
Do you know, I was thinking the other day, I initially when I got mine, I didn't like it. Like it was too big.
It was, yeah, but the amount of water that holds.
Yeah, it's good because then you can start at the top, one side, flip it, go again. Now, if you're using a mitt, you wouldn't be able to flip. You'd have to like rotate the mitt in your hand, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so when this thing first showed up and I held it, I was kind of, I wasn't sold. I was thinking this is going to be impossible to use this.
Terrible, yeah.
It's
so much
it's
water,
a great wash mitt.
Yeah,
I love this wash mitt.
yeah. I definitely recommend getting one.
And I think because it's so heavy, it
Holds so much water.
it holds a lot of water, but I think it glides quite easily along the paint.
Yeah, you
as well,
definitely don't need to be pushing hard.
No. So I think that's probably one of the things that I found using this mitt is that I don't end up pushing too hard. You can almost move it, like I'm moving it with just one finger here, right? And that's probably enough pressure to dislodge the
And I like that you can flip it and go again. So much easier to be able to flip it and go again, right?
Yeah. You're going back to the bucket way less.
Yeah. So when I initially saw bucket labels about which bucket was washed and which one was rinsed, I was like, why do you need those? But actually, it's very clear because when you start to use your mitt in the wash bucket, it's very hard to tell the difference between which one's washed and which one's rinsed because the soaps they just both look the same, right?
Yeah, you definitely want them labelled.
Yeah. I find you definitely do because now I can't tell. I can only tell because, well, one's got warm water and the other one's got cold water.
Because you've got no labelling at all on these, do you?
No.
These buckets are too small as well.
Yeah.
This is the bring this up if you can. This is the wash bucket, and I mean I can tip it all the way to here before I'd lose any water, and that's just after a couple of couple of dips of mitt.
You need those taller buckets, I reckon.
I think that's a testament to the amount of water this holds, though, right? We picked up half a bucket of water with 2 mitts, but you need taller buckets. These are way too small.
So I've just seen you wash that mitt in there and rinse it off. Do you know what the grit guards are for?
Yeah, I should be rubbing that on the grit guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was watching a video from Todd Cooper out of Esoterics.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, grit guard, how to use one? I was like, oh, I know how to use one. You put the bucket, you put your pad in the thing, and all the stuff comes off the pad, and basically that grit guard at the bottom
Catches it all?
Catch it all.
Yep.
No, that's not what it's for. Well, partly it is, but when you put your mitt in, you should be rubbing your mitt along that grit guard, and that's how to get rid of all the stuff, like raking it all off.
So that's where those washboards come in, right? Have you seen those?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
It almost looks like if you had a washboard, that'll take up half the bucket.
Yeah, so you should be putting your mitt in here, pushing it right to the bottom, scraping it along the grit guard, getting the other side and doing the same. And now you've rinsed it, and then you want to put it back into your wash bucket and do the same one more time, and just get all that dirt off from there. And now you've got supposedly a clean mitt, so that now when you put it onto the paint, you're not dragging it off.
Because all I've been doing is literally dipping into this bucket.
Yep.
I'll rinse it off. I usually give it a bit of a wring out,
yep.
and then I go back to this bucket
Go
here,
back into there, yeah.
and I rely on that just picking
Yeah.
up the dirt.
But
And I guess on this car here, right, when we haven't corrected it yet, probably doesn't matter too much.
No,
but as soon as
probably
you do this car,
Yeah, but yeah, that was a very interesting video, and I recommend you go and have a look at that from Esoteric. He's got some good handy tips on there.
where are you up to? Have you done this?
I've done that window yet. I've
This
done
one?
the
Have you
windows
done the door?
yet. No, haven't done it. You done with the glass yet?
The front, yep. Not these two sides. Now here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Doors open during the wash, clean out the inside of the door, or do you do that separately after?
So I go around the car, wash it all like this.
Yep.
And then at the end, I'll open the door a little bit and then wash the jams.
Yep.
Close it.
So you kind of leave that till the end.
Leave it to the end. Yeah.
Yep.
And then during that rinse process, when you're rinsing, you should be able to get most of that dirt and soap and stuff out of the jams when you rinse. And then the same, when I come back to do the drying process of the car, I dry the whole car first, then do the door jams last. Are you the same with that?
Yeah, I'll usually do it as I go though. So
yeah, okay.
I'll crack this door right now, wash inside there. I'll leave it open for about a minute,
Yeah.
just to drip out as much as it can.
Yeah.
And then it's the last thing I go around and clean up.
Yeah.
I usually use my my like Beadmaker towels at the end
Yeah,
to
that's a good
clean it
idea.
up.
Yeah.
I'll work the bottom area. Have you done this?
I've done the fender.
Yeah. You're almost at the point where you need to fill that bucket up again, hey?
Yeah,
Like
definitely those taller buckets are definitely ideal.
So how many litres is that bucket?
I'm not sure. Probably got it written on the bottom.
So how many more washes do you reckon you've got of this before we jump into the next big Omni Garage series?
I reckon. So we're probably like three weeks away, mate. 2 and a bit weeks away.
Yep.
Oh, you said you've redone the glass.
Yeah, glass is done, just the doors.
So this probably is actually the last wash, because
Yep.
I think we'll make it real dirty for the video. You think?
This might be the last wash, eh?
Yeah, it might be the last
It'll
wash.
be quite a cool transformation to have
Yeah.
it absolutely filthy.
So yeah, this is the last wash. I'll make sure the car's real dirty so that we can see some really good transition.
So
probably
what's
probably haven't got too much time to
is there too many in between?
do too many things here.
So what we're doing is I've lost which bucket is which now, man? Which is
That one
rinse?
is the rinse.
This far one?
Yeah, so that's why you need labels.
That's
right?
rinse. Yeah, that's
Okay.
rinse. Can't tell. So what we're doing is earlier in the year we did a big detail series on the STI. We have learnt a lot since then, and we've also picked up a lot of new gear, including
Good.
including some Rupees polishes. So basically we're going to take 4.5 days, and we're going to revamp this car top to bottom, right?
Top to bottom, inside and out.
So we're going to start with a decon. Have you already done this door? No. Okay, we're going to start with a decon wash, and then do a full paint correction, and then protection, ceramic coating it.
We're going to ceramic coat it with CSL and EXO. And I'm really excited about this transition. This car is a 2007 model. and definitely in my ownership, sort of 4 or 5 years worth, I've never paint corrected it myself. I don't know what the previous owners had done to it, but I'm super excited to see how well this paint corrects out, and definitely a big series for Omni Garage like that's really going to be exciting.
I think it'd be nice to, you've done this store, yeah?
Yeah.
Anything left?
No, just jams.
I think it's going to be really fun to, I guess, put all of our learns over the past 6 months, especially going up to the Wyatt group, learning how to use the Rupes polishers, especially on a car like this. So we're 13 years old.
Yep, I think
13 years, and we can pretty safe to say without any kind of correction ever that we're aware of in your ownership anyway.
Yeah.
So the transformation should be huge.
So yeah, exciting to do that. And definitely over the last sort of year or so, we've been collecting equipment, we've been buying equipment, we've been trying things out, we've been doing a lot of research to make sure that we are the best suited and that we have the best knowledge so that we can do this correctly. And definitely it takes a long time to get that level of experience, and by no means over experienced, but we've definitely come a long way since the last time we corrected a car. So I'm really excited for that. And so the paint's all been washed. I'm going to go around and give the car a little bit of a rinse off, but definitely for that series we're going to start filming at the end of September, beginning of October, and it's going to take a good couple of days. We've both taken a bit of time off work so that we can get this the series done and corrected within a good time frame. It's probably going to be looking like definitely a multi-part series, probably sort of somewhere around 10 part series, so it's going to be mega. And we're going to take the car right from the beginning, the engine bay, decontaminating the paint, things like that, right through the polishing process, and then we're going to finish up coating it. So hopefully that series is going to be really good for you guys to watch, and hopefully you really enjoy it. So keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks, I suppose.
Right, we're just on to drying the car, so we're going to pull up the Ryobi blower here, and we find that this is probably one of the best ways to not touch the car, because this is one of the ways that you inflict the most scratches is in the drying process. So we'll get as much as we can off of this before we move into the drying aid.
But what you're going to see is that because this fast finish hasn't worked very well on the paint, it's not going to, when you start blowing, the water's not just going to sheet off as easy as what it would if, like on your car where it's coated. So
yeah, the ceramic coating or having EXO on there as a topper, makes it an absolute breeze to get rid of it. So we're going to be pushing the water around a little bit here, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's all right. We'll fix it in a few weeks' time in the big series.
Absolutely, but it works pretty good. Okay, so the last step in the process is to just finish drying the car off. We use a bit of Beadmaker and we use a plush microfiber towel, and that just dries the car completely. And the blower does a reasonable job. It's probably got it to, I don't know, maybe 50-60% dry, and then this just finishes the process. So the drying aid just helps the towel run over the paint so you don't, to try and eliminate some of that scratching.
Yeah, and I think the key with the Beadmaker as well is you need an initial wipe towel, and you've got to have a final wipe towel, otherwise you do get streaking with it. You want to remove it completely once it's sprayed on.
And because we're both doing it, I've only got 2 towels, so we're going to have to share, so I'm going to have to do the Beadmaker, and he's going to come along with the final wipe. But I have got a whole heap of microfiber coming. I've spent quite a bit of money, got all my microfiber all lined up ready for the big detail series, so the microfiber box arriving should be huge, and I'm really excited about unboxing that.
There's a solid 80 or 90 towels in there, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. There's 81 towels arriving.
One microfiber.
Yeah.
Beadmaker me. Yeah, one. Alright. I'll let you get a section ahead of me, so if you do the whole roof, then I'll come along and do that and then just follow you with whatever section you're doing. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
So I think one of the other exciting things in conjunction with that box that's arriving of microfiber is we're lucky enough to have had close to 4,000 hours of our content watched by you guys over the last 7 or 8 months, which is pretty exciting for us.
So yeah, initially what happened is we sort of did this as a bit of a laugh. We sat down, we had a little bit of discussion, and we thought, well, together we clean cars, sometimes together, sometimes separately. So we thought, since we're already doing this kind of process, we might as well just have the camera out, and we started filming. So on New Year's Eve, we released our first video as a bit of a laugh, and thanks to you guys for watching our videos and giving us plenty of support. It's sort of taken off, so we're getting very close to that 4,000 view hours, so very close to being monetized by YouTube, and we're really excited about that process. So we thought that because this is starting to become something quite serious, we thought we need to create a bit of a brand for ourselves.
Yeah,
so we've gone out and found a bit of a logo.
Yeah, so you'll see that on the channel now. There's a new icon logo. We've got the full logo as well on the background, which is like the YouTube banner image right at the top of the channel. But yeah, thinking back to the start of the channel, right? I think that first video we had a whole lot of slow mo in there. I think
slow mo, super slow, the big
so,
spray, and we often go back and have a look at that video and have a little bit of laugh and what are we thinking, you know?
It's quite funny. I think we thought the channel would take a whole different direction. We were thinking these cinematic driving videos, but in reality, when we've actually figured out what we're passionate about and what we want to be talking about, what we want to be recording, it's not necessarily hanging out the door of the car or hanging out of the booth and doing that. That would be nice, but you need some pretty specific gear to do those kind of videos as well.
So our logo process was definitely an eye-opener for us. We sat down and we drew a couple of concepts that we thought we would be really interested in, and we had a little discussion about that. And then for us, we looked out on Instagram and did the old Google search, because we wanted to have someone to design our logo that was local, someone that we could communicate our ideas with, because this was the kind of process that we definitely want to have good communication with, you know, to sort of express what kind of logo we wanted, vision for the logo. And we ended up finding Kowski Creative on Instagram, didn't we?
We did.
And we sent out a little bit of a text about our vision and what we wanted, and she responded pretty quickly, and we said, well, that's the one, and we sat down with her over a coffee one day and we brainstormed a couple of our ideas, and then that's how the logo was developed. We had a little bit of going backwards and forth, hence why we needed good communication, and she absolutely nailed the logo. So thanks Kelly at Kowski Creative for doing that logo for us. We're really happy with it.
Yeah, did an awesome job putting up with us.
Yeah,
We're
because we're definitely tough customers. We wanted it to be perfect, and we wanted to represent us and our brand and our vision really well. So thanks a lot to her for doing that for us.
So yeah, I guess over the course of the how many months have we been doing this? What is it? September. So it's
well, we started on New Year's Eve.
we did
Released our first video, so
we've 9 months.
9 months
well,
deep.
not quite 9 months deep, because I don't think that second video came for a wee while. But I mean, we're probably 40, 45 videos deep over that period of time.
yeah.
And they've been quite fun. I think there's been a few videos that have been quite stressful, particularly when we tried to just do too much. There were times where we tried to knock out 2 or 3 videos in a single day, and that just was not the right direction for us to go with this.
And part of this process is meant to be enjoyable for us. So we're meant to like this. This is meant to be our passion. So having that stress of doing too many videos, trying to do too much, we didn't enjoy it. So definitely that was the first thing that had to go, right?
But yeah, it's been nice. We've kind of operated a few weeks in, a few weeks in credit. You know, we've been doing our videos and ended up getting ourselves ahead, which was nice because we didn't necessarily have to think about what are we going to release this week. We kind of just filmed stuff as it was happening, you know, as we got a few moto valves in, we filmed those. As we bought new products, we had stuff sent to us, we've had a chance to play with those. But it's quite exciting, right? Because we made a big list initially when we started the channel as the videos we wanted to make.
We had lots of ideas, and we haven't even had to go back to that list and go, well, what are we releasing this week? So we try and release 1 video a week. We have been releasing 2, but we've kind of got to the point where we've released all of our videos that we had stockpiled, and we're back to sort of one video release a week.
We just switched towels, so I'm on the oh, it's windy. So I'm on the I'm on the initial wipe now. How much Beadmaker do you usually use?
Yeah, probably about that.
Pretty normal.
I mean, the first time that you apply Beadmaker, you definitely want to soak it down, and you definitely want to put heaps on. But I think when you're just topping it up every now and again, I don't think you need to use that much.
I think Beadmaker is relatively cheap as well.
Yeah,
it's
relatively cheap. It's real versatile. You can use it on your glass, use it on your paint. You can put it on your wheels if you like, but I don't.
I love the smell of it.
It's a nice smell.
It kind of reminds me of that. It's not the same smell, but it reminds me of the nice smell that you get out of like a Meguiars Ultimate Spray Wax.
Your Ultimate Spray Wax is the smell that you really like.
That stuff is just amazing. I'd love that in a like a car fragrance.
Yeah.
So remembering with this Beadmaker, your first wipe is really just about getting good coverage over the surface, so it is going to look quite smeary, but you're coming along with that second towel, which is then removing all of that smearing. Beadmaker for me is amazing. You come along, 4 hours later, it does take a while before it bonds nicely, and the slickness you get out of it.
Yeah, even if you don't have anything on the paint at all, it just creates real slickness. You probably don't want to do this in direct sunlight, because I think if you leave it on and it dries too much, it can be quite hard to then go ahead and buff it off. So you probably want to do panel at a time, in the shade, spray it on, and almost wipe off straight away.
Yeah, and this is something good to do in the garage as well, after you've done your wash. If you're already 2 hours deep into a wash, it can be quite nice to come along later in the evening and go through and do your Beadmaker application. You don't have to do it immediately. I think the main reason we're doing it immediately right now is that because the paint didn't shed the water with the blower, we do have quite a bit left over we need to dry at the same time.
Yeah.
But once it's ceramic coated and there's nothing left on there after you go through and actually use your leaf blower, you'll find that you can delay this.
Alright, so that's a bit of a wrap. So I hope you guys have enjoyed watching today how we clean the car, our process, and I hope you guys have learned a little bit about us and our vision and where we're going. And we haven't really opened up too much about the brand and who we are and our vision, but that video will definitely come. We just wanted to get the ball rolling, get the content out, get monetized by YouTube, and then eventually we will say who we are, where our vision is, what the brand means, and where we hope to see ourselves in the future.
Yeah, I think this is good. This is good fun to do something like this, because it number one, knocked out a wash today that we needed to do, but also gave us an opportunity to do a style of video that we haven't done before, which is quite cool.
And have a little bit of chat to you guys, and thanks heaps for viewing the videos. I mean, we can't go anywhere if you guys don't view them and don't subscribe and don't give us any feedback, so we really appreciate your help in helping us out here.
Yeah, and we love reading the comments as well, so make sure if you've got anything to say about anything that we've done in the video, any suggestions as well, let us know below. Not to say we'll try them, but we'll read them and take them on board and try and improve our processes and have a bit of fun at the same time. So I think the next things that you've got up and coming from Omni Garage will be the big series on the car. You're going to see a lot of this car over the next couple of months, because we're going to do this from top to bottom. So make sure you hit subscribe to stay tuned for that. But yeah, thanks. 4,000 hours almost. That's a lot of you guys watching us. So thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it.
Much appreciated. That's it from Omni Garage. Thanks for watching.